And notice how, like, the surface house, untouched. And apparently, they put it out, and it reignited.
Wild.
Right?
Oh, that's fun.
I'm like...
We might be live.
Oh, really? That's getting right to it. Hold on. I haven't even checked mics yet. Check. That's fine. How about
We're
you?
both so lackluster.
At least there's no smell-o-vision, so they can't smell me via the camera, so we'll be all right.
Those are good ones.
Because, yeah,
Oh, no.
I smell like motor oil and fucking brake dust. And probably a little bit of armpit in there, too.
That's really delicious.
I really know how to talk to the ladies. Are you good on your vocalies?
Am I good on my vocalies?
Yeah, I think you are. Are we? You didn't already live us, did you?
Let me see.
We'll find out. I saw Des with those directions up there that I was originally going to follow, but then I decided I was too hateful for that. Are we on?
We are.
You motherfucker. Hello, friends, if you happen to be there friendly. Oliver Ox here for something resembling the Doing Better show. Amberly's with me. Hello, Amberly. How are you?
Hello, I'm great.
And,
How are you?
Smelly and dirty. I did poor time management today. Ooh, less. I did poor time management today, and I worked on cars, and I didn't have time to go home and shower or pick up engineer Des. Des, if you're watching, I'm sorry. He was very sad when I talked to him.
Just get an Uber, bro.
Yeah, I pay for that $50 Uber from Nashua. So we have lots of little stuff to get to today. I think we're going to sort of ease into things and have a nice, smooth Sunday evening chat. There are no big agenda points. A couple things I want to chat about. There's been a couple big news stories this week. I think it seems like Trump is trying to rescue his image with his base lately because I think lots of people were very disappointed, rightfully so, with much of his first few months. A lot of people that voted for him were not super excited about that, and he's done a few things to try and reel them back in. I'm not super confident that he means it. And by not super confident, I would say highly dubious and doubtful. But we'll see. So we'll get into that a little bit today. Couple other agenda points, but I think we'll have a nice relaxed. I'll try not to move too much so that what's up, Daisy? So that my smells don't spread. And that's that. Amberly, what's going on with you?
Let me sit down first, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I put my phone right there too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep it.
All right. Not a whole lot. I've just been working. I've been a working gal. I'm currently on a last Sunday to this coming Friday stunt. So I'm exhausted. I'm a shell of a human.
That's a lot of work.
Really, it's a lot of work. But my paycheck will be fat.
That's good. All right, do you have any special plans for said paycheck or just a little bit of financial security for the week?
Well, I'm planning to travel.
Ooh.
The week. That was a good one. Yeah. So I'm saving for that,
Where are we traveling to?
I don't want to say because I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, good. Okay.
There are a couple things I really can't say. But
Wow.
yeah, I will be traveling. That was what I said my 30th year was going to be. So
Good. Outside of the country?
yes.
Excellent. Good.
It'll be my third stamp.
So you have a passport. Are you getting a real ID?
No, I
Good.
don't want to.
Deez, you getting a real ID?
Not if I don't have to.
I don't, as far as I can tell.
I think as long as you have a passport, you're
Yeah.
good. You
And
have a
like
passport?
if,
I don't have a passport.
Well, then you're not going to be able to get into places.
but like, I would just, why not, if they're going to make you get an extra piece of paper, why would you not just go get a passport rather than a real ID? Like,
Why wouldn't you?
like
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you're at that
Yeah.
point of like, oh, I need a document,
Yeah.
I would say go get a passport and then you can leave the country and whatever. And the real idea is just an extra piece of surveillance, which we will. I want to talk about today as well.
Honestly, so when I went to Montreal for my 30th, and
How was it?
it was the best vacation I've ever had in my life. And I feel like usually, like, tropical vacations are what you would expect to be like, oh my God, it was paradise. It was the best. No, start to finish, this had like at almost every element that I could have wanted on my vacation. We started with a spa. Then we had a nice brunch that went into going out. And then the next day we did a tour de poutine, which was really fun. We went to a bunch of galleries.
For those of you who don't speak French, that's a tour of poutine.
Tour de poutine.
What's poutine?
Poutine is like, it's fries with gravy and cheese curds.
Oh, okay.
But they, different places or different restaurants do it differently, and everyone wants to be the best poutine. So we rated them, and actually the one that was voted the best by like other people was not that good.
Do you think poutine lives up to the hype? As someone who lived in Canada for 4 years, I'm not convinced on the poutine. I got to tell you.
I love the poutine.
Okay.
To be honest. But honestly, like, this is so American. I like the American poutine. I feel like the French poutine is not as
Wait,
good.
American poutine? What is
Like
that? How is that a thing?
The American... Can I put this here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. Like the American versions of the poutine. I mean, it's poutine. Poutine is poutine. It sounds like
Cheese,
saying
gravy,
poutine.
fries. But what American, like, is like Mexican hot dogs? Like, is there like a certain set of ingredients?
No,
that
I'm
go
just saying,
on?
like, I think they make it better in America than they do in Montreal.
Oh, I
and that's
feel
shots fired.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's blasphemy.
It probably sounds like it.
I like it.
And then we went to a restaurant. We ended in a restaurant. But either way, like, going down the rabbit hole. To start this, one of my best friends, we've been best friends for 10 years. I love him. He drives me fucking insane. He thought that you only needed a real ID.
To get into Canada?
He did have his passport. He just had it in the trunk because he was like, oh, well, the real ID, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, that is only for American.
Yeah. Wait.
domestic
How old is he?
Fucking 32. Sorry, I keep swearing.
Okay.
I'm just like,
I think we're allowed to swear on the show.
Right.
It's not.
My
Ken
grandma
Phones.
literally told me on Saturday, she was like, sweetie, you say fuck too much. And I was like, oh, whoops.
Well, I mean, it's whatever. That's all relative, right?
I said I was raised by my mother, who is her daughter.
So there you go.
What do you want me to do?
So the reason I asked about the age thing is because back in the day, you used to not need a passport to go to Canada. I want to say until like 10 years ago, right? So I feel like if you're older, you have more of an excuse to have ignorance.
He
like,
had
at least,
just
like,
gone to Canada.
Oh, okay, so no excuses.
There's absolutely no excuse.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and then the border, what is he called? Border police guy?
Border czar?
I don't know.
No, you're talking about the
guy at the border.
Oh, okay. No.
You're not
the
talking
guy
to
about,
let me into the
okay,
country.
yeah. Border Patrol agent.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
He got immediately was like, you're holding up the line, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm so sorry about him. So then he's asking me the questions, and I'm going. And at one point, he was like, do you have $10,000 in cash in the car or like on your persons? And I was like, no, I wish. And he... No sense of humor. It was nothing. I was like, immediately though, I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, and then I apologized for him. And I think he wanted to smile, but he had to act like
a fucking douche. Yeah, like they're all like that.
Yeah.
I also had a vacation. We were away it was my wife's 40th birthday. So I took her on a vacation and we went to St. John in the Virgin Islands. Do you want to give me some camera? Thanks, handsome. We went to St. John in the Virgin Islands, and that was lovely. And I had a wonderful little break and some sun. But I also we had. So when you, I didn't know this, and have you guys been to Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
I have not been to Puerto Rico. When you come back from Puerto Rico, do you have to go through customs?
I actually don't remember.
Fucking useless.
I don't think I did.
So here's why I asked. So normally customs are for when you come back from a different country, right? If you go,
Yeah.
if you fly inside the country, you don't go through customs. But I came back from St. John, and it's the third time we've been there. We went through customs, and I was like, wait a second, why is this? And I was wondering if it's all territories, like if it's because
No,
you're not
St.
a
John's
state.
Is that an American territory?
Yeah, it's American. Yeah, so it's
Oh, I
St.
thought it
John,
was
St.
British
Thomas.
Columbia.
No, St. John, St. Thomas, and St. Croix, I believe, are all American Virgin Islands.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know we had a Virgin.
Yeah. And then there's like the British ones are
goodness,
right there too. So anyway, we had to go through customs, and I was trying to figure out why that is. I was wondering if it's like some lesser, like citizenship level of territories, right? So like they get to vote in local elections, but not in. I'm trying to remember. Oh no, they get to vote in presidential elections, but they don't get a senator. And they don't get a representative. I think that's how it works.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, but it's weird. So I don't know. I was thinking about that, like differential levels of citizenship, and it's kind of fucked up. Like to be part of a territory is like kind of a fucked up concept in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's like you're not
we're
independent.
but you're paying taxes still. You're still like on the hook.
But we don't care about you.
But we don't. Yeah, but like you.
I didn't even know you were a part of us.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was weird. And then of course I have TSA PreCheck because I travel for work, and I go to the airport with the intention of going through security as easily as possible. So like I have no jewelry on. I wear clothes that have no metal on them. I'm like in like sweatpants, like literally
In your slides,
a purpose built outfit so they don't fucking bother me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to fucking bother me.
Yeah, no, I
and
feel
guess
you.
what happened? My wife and I got randomly selected for extra screening, which means instead of going through the metal detector, which my TSA PreCheck should fucking allow me to do, they made me go through the naked machine. So I go through the naked machine, and then the naked machine fucking bings and like alerts that I have to get the additional screening. What part of my body do you think the naked machine decided they needed to check? Oh, that would be my genitals.
That's so gross. They just wanted a good time.
So yeah,
Ew.
yeah, and you look at the thing like, so I look, and I'm wearing underwear, sweatpants, and a t-shirt. Like there was no,
and you're like, there's literally
there's
nothing down there.
nothing.
You're just looking at my genitals.
Yeah, so I go through, and the dude's like, "Oh, we have to check you." And I was like, "Oh, so you have to fucking touch my balls?" Like, I'm not
Sorry.
nice to them. Like that's my.
As you shouldn't be.
Well, I struggle with this one because like there's the like they're just doing their job argument, but
Touching your balls,
you
though.
chose a job in which you have to touch other people's genitals against their will.
That's
So,
how I
like,
feel about those fucking parking maids. Those meter maids. Those goddamn meter maids. I hate them so much. I had a boot on my car last Wednesday. This has been the longest week of my life, I will say. I know I came on here, I was like, not much has been happening, but things have been happening. I had a boot on my car, and then I went and got the boot off, but then I walked 30 minutes to an impound lot that I thought my car was at, wasn't there. Walked 30 minutes back because there's no public transit there.
How did you get your car bootied? What did you do wrong?
$600 worth of tickets. Oh my
Parking
God.
tickets?
I literally had $3,400 of parking tickets on my Jeep and I never got booted. Never got booted. I just kept getting more tickets. Never the boot.
So, but what's your plan when you have $3,400? Are you just like fuck it? Like I'm just gonna like I park where I want to park. Like it is what it is. Like how does one get there in life?
Okay, so ready? This is how you get there. First of all, I've had my car since October, still haven't gotten it inspected. That's first of all.
My wife would say that's some white people shit right there.
It really, truly
she'd be
probably is.
Anytime I like let anything like that go over, she's like, "Are you crazy?" She's like, "I don't know. You're gonna risk getting pulled over."
Exactly,
and like,
that would be the smart thing to do. However, I also do not respect that uniform whatsoever, especially because I'm just a dumb girl. What do you mean? I need to get it inspected? I didn't know I could get in trouble for that. I've never had. My dad used to do it for me all the time. Like, please, you get away with it so easily.
I have like no ability to
However,
do
when
anything
I'm
resembling
not
that.
near my car, they get me. You know, like if I'm not there, they're
They
gonna
don't know
do
it's
it.
you.
Yes.
So,
They
so
just
you,
don't
so your
care.
pretty privilege runs out when it comes to parking,
Yes,
and that's
because-
why you have
because I'm
all
not
these
there.
parking tickets. I see.
Yeah, yeah.
You should just put a picture of yourself on the car and be
But
like,
you're right.
you need but it can't just be one. It's got to be a few like different like.
Put it there when I'm like going. I'll like get a cardboard cutout of myself. I feel like that is smart.
Yeah.
That over where the inspection sticker is supposed to be.
And
They'll never know.
and make it giggle ignorantly.
Yeah. No, I've gotten away with too many things. How are you supposed to respect someone like that? And it's not just one; it's all of them. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, so
no, I mean that I get away with everything.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
I think that's fair.
Which-
Well, I don't.
It's not fair.
I get my balls touched.
exactly.
Yeah. So, and that's what happened to me, and yeah. So I wasn't very nice to him. I try to like not be a horrible human being to other human beings because they're human beings, but I'm also like I was, yeah, kind of like so because they want you to like be happy about it, right? They're like, oh, I'm gonna touch your balls and you got to be happy about it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be happy about it. Well, do you consent? I was like, no, there's no such thing as consenting to you touching my balls. I'm like, whatever. So I try. And we got through. I always try and like push it enough that I'm not gonna get on a list, but enough so like it's a little bit uncomfortable for them to try.
as it should be though. That shouldn't be like a regular. Oh, let me fondle.
And it was like he went both sat like touched
It
both
makes me so
sides of the
uncomfortable. It
sack.
makes me so
and
uncomfortable.
the
A serious question.
right,
Did he
and-
touch your taint?
Yes, so that was next. You knew I was coming. So he went around the back and around the front, and like
Crazy.
you
Can
feel
you file for sexual harassment?
you can't file for shit. It's the government. And but the thing is, like, you feel it after. Like it's for hours after. I feel like.
Oh no, yeah. I
like
mean, I
ball
do know
touched.
because that is. I mean, it feels like SA. That's like SA.
It does.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Because you weren't. It's not entirely consensual. You don't want to fucking do it. They're forcing you to do it. It's a form of SA.
And I think like touching one's genitals when one is not in genital touching mode. You know what I'm saying? Like
I 100%
It's
know
like
what
it's
you're
happened like even like in a date scenario for me where like when she reaches a little early in the thing and you're like, bro, like come on, like it's
Yeah.
not
It's not
not
that
there.
time.
Like we're not. It's not that time. And like so it's the same thing. It's like an awkward like there's only a very limited number of times in which someone else should be touching me there. And quite frankly, a very limited times in which I should be touching myself there. Like, we don't need, it's not a willy-nilly grabby, like, whatever. So, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
And that-
no,
yeah.
understandable. Completely understandable.
Yeah, it was a sad end to my lovely trip otherwise. But we got home. I can't complain, I suppose. Yo, what was wild, did you hear about the TSA stuff that's going on? Not TSA, sorry. I was thinking not useless TSA. Traffic controllers, actual real people with real jobs who do something valuable to the society. So air traffic controllers, there's been... Part of it is a natural thing when there's not enough people just like signing up to be air and going to school for air traffic controllerdom. Another part is the Trump administration cut some shit that is like, like made that more difficult. I don't know how much, because it's also political, I don't know how much is his fault, how much is just like other fault of whatever thing. But the result of it is in Newark, they have like major issues. And the day that I was traveling, we were supposed to fly through Newark. Flight got delayed 4 hours. We ended up switching and going through DC. Found out later that day that Newark had 90 seconds of they lost control. Like air traffic controllers lost for 90 seconds.
Oh, that's terrifying.
That's a lot. That was the plane. That was the place I was supposed to be flying into, and terrifying. Like terrifying. And it's those like little things. I don't know. It makes me
Oh my God.
not super positive about society because like these are the most fundamental, basic, like and most important
kinda need
things.
that.
Like yeah, and like we're politicizing this. This is how dumb we are. We're gonna make this a political issue. Like what the fuck? So anyway, that was not super duper fun.
No, not super duper fun.
But and United, I guess, has canceled a bunch of flights that normally go through there. They're like
It's so
rerouting
funny.
them
I
or
just
whatever.
saw a billboard that was like, "Thank you for flying with United," or maybe it was Delta. It was United.
I think it feels like when you're talking about big corporations in any industry, there's so few and they're so much more connected to each other than they are to us. They just feel like, airline company X, like they're all the same.
Yeah.
With all these things, it just feels like yes, those people.
I concur.
So yeah.
Fuck those people.
Fuck those people. Well, except the airline fucking whatever.
Traffic controllers.
Traffic controllers. There we go. Thank you very much. Don't fuck them. Like these are
people with real jobs.
Well, no, it makes me frustrated because we have.
I didn't mean to say it like that, but because it's real.
Yeah, it's a real job, and like while we're paying all this money for these useless people to touch my balls, like we can't get useful people to make sure my plane doesn't crash into another plane.
Literally.
Like. This is like things that we figured out like 75 years ago how
Honestly,
to do, and like
on Monday I went again. The week has been crazy. I was my best friend's plan Z to go to Kendrick and SZA. Shout out to being the last plan person.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I was really lucky because they were floor seats. But
your friend, like everyone else, bailed on them. They had like
he was originally gonna go with one of his best friends, and then because I'm a real one, I'm not gonna say much further. But I was Plan Z, and they. So I have. Do I have my bag in here?
Yes.
This bag. You cannot take this into Gillette Stadium. This is too big, unless it's clear. Why this bag right here can't take it into Gillette? My friend just shoved it in his balls because you can just fold it up. I put everything in my pockets. I took the metal stuff. It wasn't. It's like a fine material, but he like put it in his area, and they just let us fucking in. We didn't go through a metal detector. Nothing. They were like, "Oh, you don't have bags? Cool, go." And when it was like that moment for me, I was like, he could have a gun right now. He could have any sort of weapon. Like both of us afterwards were like, and at one point, this motherfucker again, it's the one that tried to get into Canada with his real ID. Yeah. He starts taking the bag out before we're even in there. Like we made it through the first place, but we're gonna have to go through another one because we're floor, so we haven't even scanned our tickets yet. Like we have to go around. And he starts taking it out, and I'm like, why are you doing that? And he was like, I was like, we didn't know. We're not in. Put it back. And so I see a cop, and I'm like, but not I was like, not right now. And he was like, what? Why? And starts like, there's like a literal, what is it called? Like it's hidden. A type of like, it's all black. You can't really tell it's a cop car, but it's a cop car. Like,
oh, like undercover?
Yes. Yeah. So
or D-Tech and Lawrence talk. Yes. That's
yeah.
Cool.
So I like immediately see them, and I'm just like casual as hell. He starts putting it back in. I'm like, oh my god! Like they're right there. I was like, Hunter, and he, then he sees, and he's like, burp, 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 and then he goes over to the cop. He's like, hey, where am I supposed to go? I got floor. I was like, that is the privilege of a white man right there, because that was terrifying to me. I was like, oh my God, they're going to see him put something in there. They're going to think it's something else. We're going to get kicked out. We already had so many issues trying to get into the show because of this fucking bag. We were going to go. First, he was like, let's bring it back to the car. Didn't want to do that because that's like another 10-minute walk. And then the locker, we went to go put it in the lockers. The lockers were full. So we would have to bring it back to the car. And I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. So we came up with that solution. But it took us a little bit. We made it for half of Act 2.
How was it?
It was incredible. One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Wow.
Like production wise, like both of them work really well together, and they're both creative enough that it's like they're both creative enough, but like they both have this similar sort of vibe in their creativity and their artistry and like what they stand for, who they are, etc. Nice. It was gorgeous. Yeah.
So your story made me think of two things, actually. Prompted two thoughts. One is a piece of advice, one thing I've learned in life. And it doesn't always work. It only works sometimes, but when it works beautifully. So you're talking about your friend asking the cop for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, what are we?
Yeah, I mean,
The asking a cop for directions or for help is a great hack because you get them out of enforcement mode and into like decent human being mode. Mm-hmm. And like not all cops can go to decent human being mode. A lot of them just don't have that in their repertoire. Yeah. But most do, especially the younger ones who have not been soured by years of being on the wrong side of the situation. So I've been pulled over a couple of times, and it's worked. If you're like, this doesn't work. Back in the day when you had maps, I would literally pull out a map when I got pulled over and be like, I'm really trying to find how to get to blah, 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 like make something up and like get them into like helpful mode. And then they'll give you directions and they're like, oh yeah, and you were speeding. I'm like, oh yeah, and they're already switched into helping mode, and they're less likely to be in enforcer mode.
No, and I did peep that. However, it was a scary moment because the way he was doing it looked so suspicious.
Yep, that tracks for today. That tracks. Okay. So.
Oh my god.
My car's gonna blow up on the way home. By the way, this is the next thing.
Yeah, and I didn't even get to finish my boot story.
Oh, sorry. Back to
They
your boot.
took so I walked from 200 Frontage Road, which is in Roxbury, all the way to the aquarium for the Blue Line, to go back to Maverick because when I got
walked from Roxbury to the aquarium.
I don't have Uber.
Is that
I
like
didn't
miles and miles?
Oh my god, it's a 33-minute walk.
Bruh.
Yeah. It was 20,000 steps by the end of the day, like over 20,000.
Yeah.
And my phone died at one point.
Oh.
Yeah. But I made it so I went to 200 Frontage Road from the aquarium. I visited one of my friends, kept it pushing, whatever. And they told me that my car actually wasn't there, that they released it in East Boston. And then they're like, but there's 2 more tickets on the car now. And it's a street cleaning day. And I was like...
What does the street cleaning day have to do with it? I don't get it. What does that mean?
So I take the T back to Maverick where my car is, and it was towed.
Because
just not to the place that I thought it was going to be towed to, because they put like a little thing on your car that's like, this is where you pay the tickets, this is where you pick your car up. I thought they were going to bring my car to the impound lot at some point. I don't know how boots work. I've never gotten a boot before, and so now I know how boots work.
I don't think I've ever got I think I've had one parking ticket before in my life. I look where I park. I just don't park there. If you're not allowed to park there, I don't park there.
No, I do the same. It's just I don't want to pay the meter.
And the other thing too is like I pay for I won't pay the meter if I gotta run into the grab a coffee and the thing or whatever. I'll do that real quick. But other than that, I'll pay to park and
Well,
I don't search for parking anymore. I just pay the fucking money. If it's $30 or $40 to park, I'm just doing it.
No, I'm not.
Because I don't want to do the drive aroundy business or the boot and tow business. I don't have any time in my life for that.
Now I've realized it's kind of cheaper to just Uber, especially to Boston. You'll probably pay like $30 to go there, $30 back, and a parking is $60.
Well, I've actually never gotten a ticket where I got booted. Literally, I've never gotten a ticket.
Just every other place.
It's honestly mostly in Boston, in the financial district area, because one of my friends lives over there, and that's just where I get hit every time. And they can ticket you on more than just parking now. Those meter maids.
Wait, what do you mean more than parking?
They can ticket you for more than just parking. They can
not
ticket
speeding.
you for they can ticket you for your inspection sticker, for your registration little sticker if you don't have that. Yeah, dude, it's literally so if they don't get you for the parking, they're gonna get you for something else because why not? I don't. That's why when you were saying during the TSA, you're gonna have to touch someone's balls at some point.
Yeah,
it's the same with the meter maids, except totally not. But I do feel violated.
Fair, but I think the meter maid, there's a finite amount of parking, and there has to be some limits. You can't let everyone park everywhere.
No,
so
what's
your solution?
Why do we have to pay for parking?
Because otherwise, everyone will park. Because it's
As
supply and
they
demand.
should.
Yeah, but so there's never going to be any parking for anybody anymore.
First come, first serve. I have great parking karma. I get front row parking literally everywhere. Literally everywhere. And it's to a point where all of my friends are like, how do you do that? I don't know.
I think you're a parking sociopath. I think that's what we're at. I think
I
you
just
only care about yourself. You don't care about the system or the rules. You just want your parking, and that's all there is to it.
I feel like, we live in a capitalist society. A capitalist society is inherently competitive. I am a humanitarian. However, where I can get it in, gonna do it.
That's some good rationalizing you did there.
You see?
I like that.
It's a give and take. It's a give and take, as this life is.
Oh, so I had another thought, so you talked about the unfairness / uselessness of the security when you're going into the place, right? Like they search one thing, they don't search this. You could have had a gun, you could have whatever. And the same is true for TSA, right? With TSA, like you can people smuggle shit through all the fucking time.
All the time.
So there's another thing that is following that exact same pattern, which is the way that they're doing immigration right now, right? It's not, if you look at the numbers, Trump is not actually deporting any more people than Biden did. But the way in which he's doing it is much scarier and like more violating of rights. And it seems to me that in all these things, that's the point. I get the whole point. The
violation.
It's the like you're not safe.
They want you to feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. Same thing with the TSA. Like you're not saying, "Oh, you have nothing. I'm still touching your balls," right? Like
because I can.
And like, the Rumesa Ozturk. I'm butchering her name, and I apologize. The woman who we talked about, who got in Cambridge, I believe, was a tough student who got kidnapped by ICE. Even though she was here legally on a green card, and then got shipped down to Louisiana, I believe is where they threw her in jail.
I think that's fucking everyone up, is that it's like completely legal people that they're also kidnapping. Exactly. It's kidnapping.
Right. So like, and at the same time, there's millions of people who are not here legally who are continuing to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like continuing to do all the things that we're supposed to hate about illegal immigrants. And it's so unplanned and it's so random. And I am of the opinion that's all on purpose. Like, I don't think Trump actually gives a shit about deporting people. I really don't think they care. I think they know damn well that our economy depends on exploiting laborers. And there's no easier laborers to exploit than people who don't have their papers because they're always vulnerable, right? If they were serious about stopping illegal workers in this country, you would go and when you busted a place with illegal immigrants, you would arrest the job. You'd arrest the boss, right? If you arrest the boss and you charge them $1 million per illegal immigrant, then guess what? No, they're not going to hire any more illegal immigrants ever again. Literally, you take that hiring manager, you drag him out in cuffs, you beat him around the fucking head a little bit like they do to all these people, right? You throw him in jail and then you say, okay, Bob's Pork Factory or whoever's hiring these people, you had 14 illegal workers here. $14 million is what you owe the U.S. government. And it would end. There would be no more jobs for these people to come to. What's that? Oh, today? Yeah.
Okay. That's one thing that I wanted to point out too. Like with recycling, and even one thing that I've been seeing a lot is like with AI just taking up like a lot of our fresh water, people panicking about it. It's like, bro, stop telling people not to use AI. Tell them to turn it off. But stop selling the waters in plastic bottles. Yeah. Stop selling the cans. Stop selling the stuff. That's much easier to do than try to make 1 million people individually try to do stuff.
But that's the whole point, is they don't care about the pollution. They don't care about the immigration. They didn't care about you being sick during COVID.
They care about selling you recycling bins.
And they care about taking your money and rights. That's in every one of these situations. It's okay. We're gonna make more money for the people in power, and we're gonna take the rights away from people. You know, you don't get to decide what to inject in your body. You have to stay home. You have to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Exactly what they did during COVID, right? We're gonna restrict you. We're gonna close your business. What is it? 50% of black businesses went out of business forever during COVID. We're gonna clamp you down. But we actually don't care about making people healthy because we didn't even test the fucking shot to see if it even stop transmission, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's the same thing with immigration.
Somebody recently too at my job yesterday, because in my job I talked to a lot of different people. He had a whole hardwood floor business. He had to get the shot. When he got the second booster, he started developing like this issue with his heart that he literally couldn't work anymore. So he lost his business. He had 10 guys working under him, and he saw slowly over the years going by him losing people. And then, he had one other person left, and now he has that one person working, but it's like he lost his whole business. He doesn't work anymore, period. Yeah. Because he can't, just because he got 2 of the shots, and they wanted him to take 5.
But I know people who lost their businesses just because they got shut down, just because they said, because of the lockdowns. So it's the same thing. It's like, and I feel the exact same way about immigration. The difference is it's which side of the team they have do it, right? Because if Biden tried to push the Real ID in, and if Biden tried to say, "Oh, we're gonna be arresting people with no habeas corpus," the right would have fought back against it. And if it had been the other way around, if you remember when Trump Operation Warp Speed and it was going to be Trump's shot and Trump was going to push it, if he got in again and he was the one pushing the big pharma drugs, the left would have fought back against it because the left has been used to fighting back against big pharma. And I really think that's why certain presidents do certain things because they can get away with it.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
I mean, that's my take. I could be wrong, but I haven't been a lot lately in about 20 years.
Whoa.
Well, I mean about little things, but about the big stuff, I've been nailing it since Iraq War #1. Nailing it.
Bada boom.
Calling out all the bullshit.
But a win for Americans and people who like wins.
I like wins. What do you got?
Hold on.
Oh, you're fire?
Yeah. We're gonna just highlight Nottoway Plantation burned to the ground. It was a historically brutal sugar plantation turned into a wedding venue, which I didn't know people still did weddings on plantations.
I think they do.
I think that's so gross.
Yeah. When we were in St. John, there's a hike because St. John was like most of those islands during those Caribbean islands. They made sugar plantations out of all of them, and St. John was a big sugar plantation with a huge. I think it was like basically 20-1 slaves to. I think it was the Dutch and then the English, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not crazy.
And there was but one of the things they talk about a slave revolt, and like there was like 10 years when they got rid of everyone, and it's just a wild concept.
When I went to Sevilla, like back in 2019 in Spain, every time she would reference slaves, she wouldn't call them slaves. She would be like the lower workers, or like I don't know, would just not call them slaves. And we were like, you mean the slaves?
This place said enslaved people, which I prefer, obviously, because like it's less dehumanizing.
Yeah,
but
let me not call them slaves.
But to not recognize the slavery that they weren't workers.
Yeah.
Like
we were like, willing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the service house didn't burn down, so that's cool. The service house being where the slaves primarily were, the enslaved people were primarily. So yeah, a win is a win.
I remember.
I would call that a win.
They can still go to work.
They can still go to work?
Yeah, they can still go.
Well, I mean, they have a blessed house. The other was not so blessed.
I remember going on a
I don't
family.
think that's where the weddings were either. Sorry.
No, we went on a family vacation to South Carolina years ago when I was a kid, and went to go see where they like one of those plantations you can go visit, and they've like with the slave quarters and everything, and the main house is like the most gorgeous, massive
I hate it.
mansion of like amazingness. Those like southern, they mean that architecture
so
is
dope.
gorgeous,
Yeah,
right?
sucks.
And then the slaves literally lived in sheds.
Yeah.
It was like actual sheds with like a shed this size with like 20 people living in it, and it's just like, bruh.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks when the architecture is just that gorgeous.
Yeah.
But, the hands that made it.
Yeah.
Fucking pyramids, man. They were built by slaves too.
Maybe.
I'm like, maybe the aliens.
A little bit of both.
I
The aliens helped.
I think it's like I don't know. My best explanation is technology that like they had higher technology than we give them credit for then, and like it got lost. But I think
It's probably because women were doing it, actually. Women came up with the technology, so they had to burn all of the evidence because...
Yeah, or maybe just for the sake of, I think technology is empowering, right? Like technology is inherently, like as it gets spread, your ability to control people goes away. So
it's
like...
a dry joke, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, there might be some truth to it. That's why I was like, oh, well, maybe like there have been matriarchal societies in the past, right? Like that's a thing. and I'm sure they were more. And these higher tech societies were more almost certainly more egalitarian, right? Like it seems like progress and bigotry don't really go together, right?
No, they
like
don't.
so. I would imagine if they had technology to move giant fucking stones and make things perfectly aligned with, geometric north and
The whole planet.
yeah, exactly, and like put the ratios in for the speed of light and all that stuff. Like they knew a lot of stuff then. I like my favorite theory of the pyramids is the power station one. Have you seen that? The way the water runs naturally underneath it. There's a way in which you could the stone that they used, I believe it was lime and something else. Anyway, but because the way the water runs underneath it, you could have generated electricity through it. And the theory I've heard is that they all had caps on them for wireless electricity distribution, like Tesla stuff.
That's sick.
That same school of thought says that a lot of the buildings with like gold domes that we have. And a lot of the churches were actually power stations in a previous technology. Again, I don't know. There's that all that stuff's pretty out there, and there's like nuggets of truth that make it maybe possibly true, but not enough that you're like, that's definitely what happened.
We just gotta go over there to see for ourselves.
Over to Egypt. It's wild if you look at the pictures of that area, because like you picture the pyramids in the middle of nowhere, but like. And that's how they were, 50 or 100 years ago. But now everything's like built up right to the edge of it. I feel like that's one of those things that would have been way cooler 50 years ago, and now probably feels touristy and stupid. I could be
Still
wrong.
cool to see, probably.
Certainly.
What was I gonna say? Just went right out of my brain. Oh, like all those horrible conspiracy theories. I'd like to believe those ones are true. Like those ones are cool. I feel like all of the horrible conspiracy theories are true, or like have come out to be true. So
Seems like it.
right?
What do you think about the Diddy trial? You guys seen any of that stuff?
Oh my god! I always see like the side of things where it's like, for the people saying that like Cassie should have just said no, blah 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 blah. I'm like, she was literally like what, 18 when she started, 21 when they got together. Like, let's be so real. You can't even. This was not my words, but I love them. Women can barely tell their nail tech that they fucked up. How are you going to tell a $1 billion mogul that, I don't...
No, that just say no stuff is very ignorant
It's
of power
so
dynamics.
ignorant.
Like, power dynamics exist. Not...
Well, and she liked him. Like, she, you know what I mean? Like, it's a grooming situation. It's not just like, that doesn't happen overnight.
I mean, I can judge her for liking him and his fucking dolphin teeth, but so like that part, like
I used to think Lil Wayne was the hottest thing since sliced bread. Let's be real.
he's not the most beautiful man on the planet, I wouldn't say.
His hair now, no, but like when he came out with Lollipop, oof! I was in there.
You like short guys? Isn't he like 5'2"?
I don't mind shorties.
Oh, okay.
Sade. I'm pretty short, so everyone else.
Hey,
is
short
like,
kings.
No, honestly, no. One short king did me so dirty. I don't know if I can go back.
Wow.
Dirty.
Wow. Traumatized by the short man. It's usually not how it works.
I know.
Terrible.
Traumatized by all men, though. So.
I mean, as a former dirtbag, I apologize.
Oh my God.
On behalf of men.
Thank you.
I used to be terrible.
I appreciate that.
I mean, not like non-consensual terrible, but like non-honest terrible. And that's very bad, and I apologize for me and all anybody
Just
out there.
gotta be
yeah.
honest.
I know,
Girls
but
are worst sometimes.
What?
Girls are worse sometimes.
We're not getting into
With
this.
that honesty. Nah, yeah, I even have to go.
With the honesty.
Yeah.
it's probably true, but
Like, we could tell the truth, but we instantly regret it.
yeah, I can't say girls are worse. It was pretty much all my fault when I was in that frame.
Have
of
you
mind.
ever tried telling? Well, you have a relationship now, so you tried telling the truth, but you try to tell the
within
truth.
reason?
Yeah.
I would always prefer the truth, but that's also just like very, I guess, personal. I don't know. Some people have their differences. Some people don't want to know. Like, don't ask, don't tell. I would like to know the truth.
But not all the truth all the time.
What do you mean not all the truth all the time? Like, what do you not want to tell me the truth about?
I'd rather not know at this point.
About what?
I have peace right now. So I'd rather just.
Like, I don't know, if you like make something for dinner and it's kind of gross, like you want me to be like, it's gross, like whatever, or you want me to be like, and you took 2 hours in the kitchen and you worked really hard or whatever, or like you
Make the face and then tell me it's good. Like, make the honest face, but say it's good. Like, this is great. I'll know. Like, that's fine. But that's easier, I feel like,
Okay. I see. I don't know. I go back and forth on this.
Well,
Like,
if I'm not a cook, I'm not a cook.
right, but what if it's something that, like you are? I don't know. I feel like 100% unfiltered honesty is not a thing that ever like is realistic to. Now, there's like lying is lying, right? If you say, "Hey, where were you last night?" and I'm like, "Oh, I was at Bob's house and I was not fucking at Bob's house," and that's a lie, and like that's very clear.
Yeah.
But if like I wasn't at Bob's house last night and you don't ask me and I don't tell you, like that's also a lie, right? Because like there's
I hate omitting the truth.
Right, but
I hate that shit.
But again, if like the food you made is kind of fucking booty and I'm gonna enjoy it, and like I feel like that's in a different. There's certain amount of friendly, like I don't know. I feel like women, and if talking about if a guy's like, does that size work for you? And it's like less than you were less than thrilled with it, but like, are you gonna be honest? Are you gonna be like, oh, it's kind of like last two guys I had definitely were bigger.
See,
like,
and
that did the
again,
trick.
this is where like it's I've been fortunate in my single days, but I have a hard time holding my face. Yeah.
I mean, I do too. Like my face always tells the
Great.
truth.
Yeah. So
But
it's
no,
like
but you still say yeah. You still are like.
But that's what I'm saying about the food. If my food is bad, like give me the face, that's fine, but say that it's good.
What's the point of saying it's good if the face is like again?
Because
Or
it's
is it just for
it's like
if my face says your food sucks or your
because
face
it
says my
says
dick
that
is
it
trash,
says
like,
that you appreciate the fact that I spent 2 hours in the kitchen cooking and you're eating it even though you don't like it.
okay,
It at least gives that.
okay. So what?
I mean, it didn't work out with the guys, obviously. That's just not going to happen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
DZ, you got somewhere to be? You're rushing out of here.
Yep, I got 2 more things that I have to do today.
What's on the docket?
A baby shower. I just gotta stop by, say what's up, and then
That-
recording the.
That is Dominican as fuck, by the way. Like,
Oh my God.
And hey, bro,
it's 9 o'clock. I gotta go to a baby shower. Okay.
it's been going on since
Yeah.
6.
Okay, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
I had a whole women's event that I was at covering, so that's why.
Yeah, that was wild. What was that event about?
Women's. It was a woman empowerment.
Oh, okay. Just
It's a women's event.
Yeah. It was really good. A lot of strong speakers. I seen Katrina. Took pictures of her.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. No, the community's definitely getting along.
Excellent. Good. All right. Well, so I think we have to have an early wrap today. Unfortunately, next week we'll be back. We got some. I got a bunch of guests in the work for the summer. We're gonna try and get some more active political people in here. I got a few. We're gonna hold off on an announcement until I get a few official. But I got some exciting politically active people. I'm really gonna try and spend the summer trying to get as people as united as possible around principle. I think it's really time that we look past, and of course you've heard me say this before if you're a fan of the show or any of my work, but it's really time we get past the old left-right divide. I think those the value of those differentiations is almost zero, and it is really time to look at the power structure and what regular people can do. Because if we're going to be really honest about it, whether they're blue or red people in the power structure, they're in the power structure and they're a mile away from you, right? No matter how far, you're on the left, AOC is not your fucking friend. And and if you're on the right, Rand Paul is also not your fucking friend. And Mitch McConnell's certainly not your friend. He's too busy shitting himself. But the point is, we as much as possible, I want to start looking at issues from a like super nonpartisan view and try and engage people on that, because we really need to start to get to the bottom of issues, especially in the age of Trump, because Trump is currently doing things that are so he just made a speech in Saudi this week in which he called out neocons. It was a really he basically called out the Republican Party establishment for the last 30 years in a way that seemed really impactful, and we need to be able to have better conversations about it rather than I hate Trump and I love Trump. I personally don't think he's particularly honest or genuine, because I don't think politicians are honest or genuine, but the ideas have merit. And I think so things like tariffs is another one. Tariffs were traditionally something that was thought of something that the left would like, and Trump came in sort of bringing him in from the right, and Trump supporters have been big fans of it, even though economically speaking, conservatives historically are very against tariffs and anything that impedes trade. So I think we need to really start thinking critically and outside of start thinking about issues that are political in nature without the political lenses on that we do before, without the team sports, because I think they're just increasingly unhelpful and not relevant. So I think we have ripe area for discussion. We're going to have lots of good stuff to talk about. We're going to hopefully engage lots of interesting people on these discussions. More than ever, we need to start uniting and taking back our rights and our power, because literally I see videos every single day of people halfway across the world getting violated in the most horrible ways, and people 20 feet away from here getting violated in the most horrible ways. And we absolutely need to do better than this, and we have to, as good, decent human beings, look past the same old divides we've had and stick up for each other and work for a better future, because it's kind of all in peril right now. We could be 10 years away from effectively all being in the same situation Gaza's in right now, every single one of us. So that's not super positive, but the positive side is we're going to figure it out, because we're all very smart and talented, not just me.
And that's hard to follow up.
Sorry.
I'm not going to lie to you. But May 31st.
Oh, yes. Way better stuff. Please, positive. See? Yes.
I will be performing at the Mass Fashion Week finale at the Creative Arts Academy.
Where is that?
So that is in Burlington, Massachusetts.
Cool.
Yeah.
How do we get there? I want to come and see you. How do I do that?
Will be posting about it on my Instagram.
Okay, cool. And where do we find your Instagram?
My Instagram is Amberly. That is AMBERLI.E.
Awesome. I'm super excited for that, and I can't wait to come and see you perform. DZ, any last words? All right, friends. We will be back next week for at least.
Actually,
oh yeah, he does.
Sorry.
Go on.
So I guess we're going to Mass Fashion Week this month.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Definitely. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Burlington, Mass. May 31st. Bam, bam, bam. It's a Saturday, I believe. So see you there.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. We will be back next week for more Doing Better show and all the other. So there'll be some local updates for you next week. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I will not be covered in dirt and able to talk to you about. Thank you very much, and peace. Do the thing, what?
Does that mean it's done?
It's done when he undoes us. Right now, we're still.
You're still on camera.
You're on camera, and I'm still talking. Bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang.